You wake before sunrise, but the room is already crowded with breath. 6 people sleep here. The walls sweat. The window barely opens. And this is called home. Outside, London is the richest city on earth. Inside this court, wealth has vanished. What remains is brick, damp timber, smoke, sewage, and rent due every Saturday. Your first survival problem is not hunger. It is air. Every sleeping body has used the same small supply all night, while the fireplace has pulled smoke back into the room. Open the window and winter enters. Keep it shut and the room fills with moisture, soot, and infection. In this house, even breathing is a decision. The house was not built for this many people. Rooms have been divided, stair landings enclosed, cellars rented, and back buildings packed until privacy becomes impossible. Rapid growth brought workers into London faster than safe housing could be built. Cheap rooms became valuable. Overcrowding became profitable. You pay for a room, not comfort. The landlord may live elsewhere. Repairs can wait. Your rent cannot. Miss one payment, and the door may close behind you. Complain too loudly about the roof, the drain, or the vermin, and another desperate family can take your place. The stairs are narrow, steep, and unlit. One broken tread can end a working life. If you cannot work, the room disappears next. At the bottom waits the yard. One pump, one privy, one wash area, and dozens of people depending on all 3. Water looks clear enough. That means nothing. In 19th century London, a pump could draw from ground polluted by leaking cesspools and drains. You cannot see cholera. You cannot smell it reliably. You only know that neighbors who drank yesterday may be desperately ill today. Boiling water might help, but fuel costs money. Coal means heat, cooking, and cleaner water. One small pile cannot do all 3. You choose to boil one kettle. The rest of the household drinks what remains. Survival begins with compromises that would be unthinkable in a safer home. The privy serves too many tenants. Its door does not close properly. The pit or drain below may overflow after rain. When waste remains close to walls and water, disease is not an accident. It is built into the geography of the court. Inside, the plaster is soft with damp. Wallpaper peels away. Mold spreads behind the bed, where daylight never reaches. Damp chills the body, ruins clothing, and makes chest illness harder to escape. For the poor, recovery often means returning to the same room that helped make them sick. Tuberculosis moves differently from cholera. It can remain for months, carried in coughs through rooms where people eat, sleep, mend clothes, and recover. The danger is slow enough to become ordinary. A cough becomes background noise. Weight loss becomes weakness. Weakness becomes lost wages. Lost wages create another threat: hunger. Cheap lodging consumes income before food, coal, soap, or medicine can be bought. A meal may be bread and tea. Meat is rare. Fresh food spoils quickly in a room with no proper storage and insects in every corner. Rats and mice exploit every gap, but the deeper enemy is infestation itself: fleas, lice, bedbugs, and the exhaustion of never feeling clean. Washing requires water, privacy, time, and warmth. You have almost none of them. Cleanliness is treated as a moral duty, but the architecture makes it a luxury. Laundry hangs indoors because the yard is wet and the air outside is smoky. The room grows more humid. The walls absorb another day. By midday, the court fills with noise. Hawkers, workshops, carts, arguments, coughing, and the constant movement of people through spaces never meant for crowds. Noise denies rest. Night work and day work overlap. A sick person cannot sleep, and a worker facing a 14-hour shift cannot truly recover. The cellar below is worse. It sits against wet earth, receives almost no light, and may flood when drains fail. Yet the cellar is cheaper. When income falls, danger becomes affordable. In some districts, lodging houses compress strangers into shared sleeping rooms. Disease, theft, violence, and fear move easily where doors and personal space disappear. You keep your boots close. They are not just clothing. They are your ability to reach work, earn wages, and remain indoors tomorrow night. Smoke is everywhere. Coal fires blacken ceilings, factories darken the sky, and poor chimneys return fumes to the room. Carbon monoxide has no warning smell. A blocked flue can make sleep deeper and waking impossible. You wake with a headache. Is it smoke, hunger, fever, or exhaustion? In a slum room, symptoms overlap until the danger is already advanced. Then comes fire. Timber partitions, open flames, crowded rooms, and narrow stairs create a trap with almost no margin for error. If a candle catches cloth, smoke reaches the staircase first. The same passage that leads out becomes a chimney. Your best chance is speed, but speed is difficult in darkness, on broken steps, with everyone trying to use one exit. Fire may not come tonight. Rent definitely will. That certainty keeps dangerous rooms full. Why stay? Because work is nearby. Move to cleaner housing farther away, and transport costs, time, and lost opportunities may erase the benefit. The district is not only misery. Neighbors share news, fuel, childcare, food, and warnings. Community can become the strongest survival tool available. A warning about a sick household may keep you from one pump. A borrowed coal measure may let you boil water. A knock at night may reveal smoke. But closeness also spreads danger. The person who helps you today may unknowingly bring infection through the same door. During cholera outbreaks, fear could move faster than explanation. Before germ theory was widely accepted, many blamed foul air alone. The smell was real, and the filth was real. But the crucial route was often contaminated water. A clean-looking cup could carry the deadliest threat in the room. Public health reforms slowly changed the city. Drains, sewers, inspection, housing rules, and pressure to clear the worst courts. The 1848 Public Health Act was an early national step, but reform was uneven, local, and often resisted by cost and property interests. A law on paper does not dry a cellar overnight. It does not widen a staircase, replace a roof, or give a tenant bargaining power. Slum clearance removed some notorious rookeries, but displacement could scatter communities and push poor families into other overcrowded streets. Improvement was real, but survival remained unequal. The safest home was usually the one a worker could not afford. Now night returns. The room is warmer because everyone is inside. It is also wetter, smokier, and more dangerous. You inspect the chimney, move cloth away from the flame, cover the water, and keep the boots beside you. Small precautions become a private survival system. You cannot repair the house. You can only manage its risks for one more night. The cough in the corner continues. Rain enters through the roof. Somewhere below, the drain gurgles. Sleep means surrendering awareness. Yet without sleep, tomorrow's work may be lost. Your body is the final resource the room consumes. At midnight, footsteps stop outside your door. The handle moves once. There is no lock strong enough to create true privacy here. The footsteps move away. This time, nothing happens. In Victorian slum life, survival often looks exactly like that. Disaster passing one door further. Before dawn, the fire dies. Cold returns. The air clears slightly, but every surface is wet. You rise because work does not care how you slept. Illness, smoke, fear, and hunger must be carried into the street. The room has not killed you. That is not the same as being safe. By the late Victorian period, investigators, reformers, doctors, and residents had made the hidden conditions harder to ignore. Photographs, maps, medical reports, and testimony revealed that housing was not merely private misfortune. It was a system shaping public health. That recognition changed cities, but slowly. Generations lived inside the gap between knowing a danger and paying to remove it. The true horror was not one spectacular disaster. It was the repetition: bad water, bad air, bad sleep, bad food, and rent due again. One mistake could matter, but sometimes every available choice was dangerous. You survived the night because the candle did not fall, the pump did not infect you, the landlord did not evict you, and your lungs held on. Tomorrow, the test begins again. Victorian London built palaces, railways, docks, and an empire. But for millions of working people, the most dangerous structure could be the room they called home. Inside these walls, survival was never guaranteed. It was rented by the week. Could you survive this?